Am I the asshole for moving on quickly from my ex-boyfriend who passed 3 weeks ago? Username, did I move on too fast?
I wonder if that's her normal Reddit.
I hope it is. I really hope it is. My boyfriend of a year passed away 3 weeks ago after a car accident. I was really close with him and his family, and he was close with mine. We were going to live together in the fall next semester. We shared a friend group as he was friends with all of my current friends before me, so they all like him too. When I was 16, my best friend passed away due to leukemia, and I was really depressed and down for a while, and my mom used to constantly tell me to get over it, and what's done is done, so I'm kind of desensitized to loss and tend to get over it quickly. After my BF died, one of my close friends who I used to like was talking to me and said he was there for me, and I didn't really need emotional support, but we started talking and seeing each other 2 weeks ago. I told my friend about it today, and she flipped, and 2 of my other close friends texted me and said what I was doing was fucked up and it's too soon. And now I got a message from my late BF's sister telling me to never talk to her or family again and some other mean things. IDK how she even found out. I don't know what I really did wrong. I never cheated on my late BF. I did pay my respects after he passed, but it's like I'm supposed to wait some arbitrary amount of time until I'm allowed to go out with people again. And then she has an edit here. So the response I've gotten are split, but more leaning towards asshole, and I can accept that, but I'm still going to correct people, say that the new guy is my boyfriend because he's not. We're just seeing each other casually. Edit 2, there are 900 comments. If you're calling me an asshole, try to at least be original rather than a carbon copy of something I've already read. Verdict, asshole. What say you?
I guess I would say no assholes here because I don't think the people that are grieving are assholes, but I also think this girl's innocent. I do not think that she's an asshole. I think what really hit it for me is she said, what, I'm supposed to wait an arbitrary amount of time before I move on? That's a fact. Like, what is acceptable? 6 months, a year, or why not 3 months? Like, the time doesn't matter. Like, everyone grieves in their own separate way. So just do your thing.
That is pretty much aligned with my first thought. Gonna come back at you and say, isn't it also, though, acknowledging the ecosystem of a relationship, which she's talked about extensively? Isn't there a selfishness knowing that that would be hurtful to the family? In other words, sure, she wanted to fuck some guy, but clearly she wasn't that discreet about it because it got out. The family knows, and that's hurtful.
The loss of a loved one is horrific, and it's a nightmare, but you can't really expect other people to react or do what you would do or what you would want them to do. And honestly, maybe this is going to sound crass, but maybe her just trying to come is like part of her grieving process. Like maybe just like getting with someone else like is helping her heal.
Well, I don't refute that. I think that's why I landed where you did, but I'm just trying to say, isn't there something to be said about the fact that even though she wants to come, she was not discreet enough. She ignored that this would have effects on the family. Is there anything there? I mean, I'm trying to think of like, I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to do it. If my brother died and he had a girlfriend, would I be upset at her if she moved on quickly?
Wow, that's a good point. Because I guess when you make it personal, like if I lost my sister and her boyfriend were to move on quickly, I guess I would feel some type of way, but I don't know that I would call him an asshole. I think it's okay. I think they have to grieve in their own way and they have to do what they want to do. And then like this girl's mom had a very good point. Get over it. What's done is done. Like that's really harsh and really cold, but ultimately that is true and that is how life is. Like say she grieves silently for 6 months and she's suffering in silence and she's quote unquote good.
Right.
You know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, this girl has had some horrible things happen to her, and that's why I'm really struggling to throw out asshole, because her friend died when she was 16. Like, God, this girl's life has been wrought with tragedy.
Yeah, but overall, the verdict is asshole. So you and I are disagreeing with the Reddit.
Yeah, so let's go into the comments here. Jersey Shore Web Dev says, you're the asshole. He was dead for a week, and you started seeing someone else. 7 days. I'm sorry, but you're either not thinking right as a result of his death, or you weren't that into him. I don't think it's a particularly insightful comment. I think he's re-explaining the week is kind of, because like that's not what this is about. I don't think he saw her perspective at all there.
Yeah, that's pretty aggressive, Jersey Shore Web Dev.
Macaw, M-A-K-K-A-H, says, you're the asshole. You are not desensitized to loss. You're expressing pretty concerning sociopathic behavior. And this bullshit, everyone grieves differently, is just that. Bullshit and lame excuse for being a shallow, dickish person. Show some fucking respect.
Wowza.
Yeah, I feel like
that's a bold statement.
I think we are seeing a little bit of the Reddit that is sexist. I think there is a sort of a male toxic masculinity of extreme loyalty. Show some respect. These are almost sounds, it sounds militant, but it almost evokes the military.
It's only loyalty from her end, which isn't fair.
I mean, here's another way to look at this that we haven't said yet, which is if I died Oh my God, I would want my girlfriend to do whatever she fucking wants. I would love to see, like, I'm flown up to heaven and she moves on. Now, I wouldn't like it. This is what I'll say. And this is an optical concern. I wouldn't like it if I saw her get with someone that, like, we knew. So I felt very deceived. Like, if I saw, like, someone that we both mutually knew and then that person was extremely there for her and then they hooked up, actually, I think the person I would judge is the other person.
Yeah, because she's vulnerable. She just lost someone.
Exactly. It's exploitative, I was going to say.
Me too.
So that is where the pain would come from in this scenario where I'm floating above in heaven. In general, my policy would be like, honestly, whatever the fuck she has to do to get over this horrible, who cares? I'm fucking dead, dog. Like, it don't matter.
Exactly. And I think that's really sweet that you said, like, if you were to die, you'd want your girlfriend to move on and find love, like, super quick or whatever. I think that's incredibly sweet. Danny's a sweetheart. So let me ask you this. You mentioned Reddit's sexism, which I agree with you. Do you think if the woman died and then the man moved on, do you think people would be like, yeah, get it, pimp?
No, I mean, I don't think they're that bad. I think sometimes, I think sexism may be the wrong word too. I don't want to come off. I mean, there are parts of Reddit that are like disgustingly sexist. I think it's primarily male and it's a lot of males, like Jersey Shore web dev. Like, I guarantee you this guy's coworkers are almost all men. It's a heavily male dominated field. He doesn't understand her perspective and probably hasn't personally dealt with death. There's no really personalizing or empathizing there. So if this was switched, I'd like to believe that a couple of outstanding Redditors would say, I don't know. Actually, now I don't know. I feel like so this is a guy who is dating a girl, and then she dies, and he's banging a new girl. Yeah, I can see people do that because I feel like people reduce it much more easily. That's what they would do. They'd be like, oh, dude, that's just his slam piece. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would go that way because I think it's easier for people to conceptualize men that way. They're like, oh, well, yeah, he's fucking her. He doesn't care about her like the way he cared about Jill.
He's dealing with his pain. Hello. Yeah. But then a woman doesn't. Like, what a monster.
There was a dissenting comment. So someone who saw, Anthony and I said no assholes here because I don't blame the family for being upset.
Exactly.
I think discretion was the error. That's where I'm going to kind of settle. She needed to be discreet because it is a bomb drop. It is a bomb drop.
I don't know that she has to be discreet.
I think so. I think there's no way that no one's going to get hurt. You think his fucking dad isn't going to get hurt? His mom isn't going to get hurt seeing her? Like, imagine she posts on Instagram a picture with her and the new guy.
I think that's okay.
Bro, that's going to hurt their feelings.
Don't follow her then. Focus on your own pain in your own life, and you're like, it's horrible and it's so sad.
But they had a mutual life.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like...
Do you follow your sister's boyfriend?
I do.
You're telling me your sis dies and boy throws up a picture of him and his new girlfriend a week after her death.
It seems pretty quick, but at the same token, it's like, I read Tony Robbins' Brag Alert self-help book.
Okay, where's this going?
He said change can happen in an instant. He said... What?
Okay, but I feel like you're trying to rationalize here. You're telling me that after a week, I'm not saying if you rationally think it's okay. I think you do. I think I do too. But I'm telling you, when you see a picture of him macking on some new chick a week after your sister's death, you're not going to feel upset?
No, I would be upset, definitely.
Of course you are, because you're a human fuck being.
But it's none of my business. And if David wants to live his life like that, I don't have control over his Instagram. I don't have control over his social media. And my sister's boyfriend's name is David. Shout out, David. But if David does that, that's his business. Like, I would be pissed.
But I agree. I feel like we're not disagreeing, because what I'm saying is it is on Dave, or in this case, this girl, to practice discretion, knowing that it's going to hurt people's feelings to see her moving on quickly. It doesn't make her an asshole, because failing to be discreet, and especially in this case, I think she wasn't paranoid, really, because it sounds like she didn't tell him. It's not like she posted it on social media or anything. We were just using that to demonstrate it. She even says, like, I don't know how they found out. I feel like we've settled out. There was a person who said not the asshole. AIGUILLETTE Aguilette says, not the asshole, but only because I don't believe that you're not grieving. Some people react poorly when grieving. They do drugs or yell or jump into sexual partnerships inappropriately fast. I honestly think you're acting out through dating, and you should really consider some grief counseling.
That's beautiful. That's very well put. I wish I would have suggested grief counseling. Shout out Aguileta.
Yeah, I think that's on point. I mean, I'm so lucky I haven't really had a lot of death in my life. but I do think it is a time to be considerate, obviously, of your own feelings and of all the family's feelings, and the fact that, when you're with someone, you have a mutual life to some extent. And I think you're not wrong because, if your sister dies, then you're probably not going to be like, hey, what's up, sister's boyfriend? We're best friend now. But like that, you still had some, memories and moments together.
That's fair. To flip it on the way other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
So the argument being she moved on too quickly and or she wasn't discreet enough. Do they want the opposite? Do they want her to be like grief-stricken? She drops out of school. She quits her job. She doesn't shower. Like how far, like when is enough enough?
I think it's tough. I think it's amorphous. I don't think there's a rule. I just think that a week is very, very soon. And I think the discretion is absolutely key. And I don't think it is rational. I think this has nothing to do with rationality.
That's true.
She's not breaking an agreement of any kind. Like she says, I didn't cheat on him. But it's upsetting to them because to them, this person who has passed, in other words, speaking about his family, these images, I guess there's no images in this case, but this knowledge that she is now with someone else, what it feels like, and I'm not saying this is what it is, but what it feels like is she's saying he wasn't that important to me, and that hurts.
That makes sense.
It's a betrayal of a reality, which actually ties in kind of interestingly to the almanac that we were talking about, because betraying a perceived reality is really hurtful, whether it's real or not.
You're so smart. Shout out Danny Vega.
Oh my God, I think this is a really interesting one, and guys, we would love to hear your thoughts on any and all of these.